Hi guys, you read the title right. Which one of the in 2016 holiday season mechanized shooters is the better one? Titanfall 2 or Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? And I'm gonna stop you right there, because I just put up the title to get your attention. Each of the games were focusing on other aspects of gameplay than the other one and other ways of storytelling than the other. So it's not a matter of which one is better, but which one suits you the most. So before I give my conclusion, I'm gonna analyze both games, tell you a little bit about the games and the storytelling, and then I'm gonna present my conclusion. So starting off with the game that was released first, Titanfall 2. So before I start with my Titanfall 2 evaluation, I'm just gonna say this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't played either games and don't wanna spoil yourself with the details, I highly recommend you stop watching and listening now and watch some of my other videos. Okay, so Titanfall 2. It's a confusing game in the beginning actually. When I was first playing it, I played it 2 times, and when I was first playing it, there were a lot of names being brought up by the in-game characters. You had to learn about the IMC, you had to learn about the Apex Predators, you had to learn about Marauder Corps, and so on. So that was really confusing for me, but that didn't take away the gameplay or the storytelling of it. But that problem may be due to me. When I'm first playing a game and I hear a lot of names, I have a really bad memory with names, and when I hear stuff like that, I just zone out, kind of. So yeah, but some details about the factions are Marauder Corps is a faction within the militia, and you're with the Marauder Corps and you fight against the IMC. And the IMC is the main faction in Titanfall, and it's basically a conglomerate that's acting as a military corporation, and it's oppressing the folks for getting resources to build Titans and stuff like that. And the Apex Predators, they're coming in later in the story, and they're a mercenary unit. And here's where it got confusing for me, because I thought that the Apex Predators were in an allegiance with the IMC, but they're actually part of the militia. So you can hire them to fight for you, and it doesn't matter who hires them. If you got a lot of money and you're willing to pay, they'll fight for you. So basically what the Apex Predators do is they're fighting against their own people, because the militia is built up of criminals, predators, and stuff like that. So that's where it got confusing for me, but after I did a little research, I came to find out this information. So yeah, that was that. But the story, it's a story about a pilot, Jack Cooper, who is gonna be piloting BT. I don't know the serial number of BT, but BT is a Vanguard class Titan, and his captain died in the first mission that you're actually gonna play. And they're starting to get a relation based on the fighting that they do, and that progresses throughout the whole story. And what it actually does is they'll make you see BT as a person instead of a mechanized war machine that you're actually operating. So I like that aspect. They're trying to show you the relationship between the pilot and the Titan, and I really love that, because I really had a connection with BT. I felt he was my buddy, he was my friend, and he was my savior. That sounds weird.
Got you.
But he actually saves you a couple of times. So I like that aspect of the game. And you're fighting against, first you're fighting against nature, then you're fighting against the Apex Predators, and stuff goes on until you have to really make a decision. And that decision I'm not gonna spoil for you right now, maybe in a later video. But basically by the end of it, BT dies. Yeah, you saw that coming. I certainly did, and I really didn't want to see that. But yeah, that. But in this game, unlike the first one, there's actually a story. Because in the first one, it wasn't really a campaign, it was just online with a little dialogue to get a sense of the story behind the why you're fighting in the Titan. But in this one, they did it right. They did everything right. They made it so you have dialogue, so you can actually choose whatever you want to answer to BT in certain situations. And most of the time, it's just Jack Cooper making funny jokes or making funny incentives to BT, and BT doesn't really get it and says something mechanical. So yeah, I love that Jack Cooper is trying to make BT funnier, and BT doesn't get the humor and just says something really stern and firm. So yeah, I like that. But everything in the game, it just clicks. The wall running, it clicks. The sliding, it clicks. The shooting, it clicks. Everything is just well done. It's just well done. I can't really say anything except that the hardest difficulty wasn't really all that hard. It was annoying at some parts, but it wasn't really hard. So that's the only minor detail that is missing, really. Well, other than that, I really enjoyed the gameplay of the single player, and if you haven't played it, I highly recommend you do so. Yeah, so this is for Titanfall 2. Now, Infinite Warfare. So, against all odds of a lot of people, Infinite Warfare, the campaign, it was brilliant. You start with Lieutenant Nick Reyes, who gets promoted to a commanding officer and acting captain of the warship, the Retribution. And from there on, things get interesting because you find some intel on enemy locations, and this is actually where you can make decisions on which enemy location you want to compromise, which enemy ships you want to destroy. So it's not a real linear gameplay like we're used to with Call of Duty, but this time you can actually play the missions you want to play yourself in non-chronological order. So that's a new thing in Call of Duty, and I really like that aspect because now you can actually decide which missions you want to play, and with each side mission or main mission that you do, you get equipment bonuses and new weapons. You have to scan weapons, and whenever you scan a weapon, you get it in the armory so you can use it in future missions. So that's a cool aspect of this game. And furthermore about this game, the missions, they're well executed. They make sense. They're good to play through, and you can choose your own loadout. So you're not confined by the preset configuration of the game with which weapons you gotta play, and that's a good thing because now you can either go guns blazing in a mission where you actually have to go stealth, or you can go stealth where you actually have to go guns blazing. So I like that. Furthermore, since this is Call of Duty, there's a lot of cinematical cutscenes that detail events that have taken place in the past or give you information about the upcoming mission. And this is Call of Duty, so you know that this is gonna be involved. And the one thing I really like about this game is that you have a robot warrior that's fighting alongside you, and his name is Ethan. And he's the reason that I really like the campaign because he's awesome. He makes funny jokes, he says funny things just to lighten the mood, but he can also be serious, but most of the time he isn't, and that's just comical coming from a robot. So he's basically a robot with a personality. And in the beginning, a Marine named Omar really didn't like him because he sees what robots can do to humans, so he didn't like Ethan. So there was a lot of conflict between them, but Nick Reyes decided to pair them up in a dogfight, so a battle in space. And since that moment, they both liked each other, or basically Omar liked Ethan. So from that point on, it was just full-blown comedy. Comedy with seriousness mixed in. So that's a good combination if you can pull it off. And Activision/Infinity Ward pulled it off magically. They really nailed it on this one. And in the end, everybody dies. Almost everybody dies. So yeah, that's a major spoiler. But since we're talking about Call of Duty, you knew this was gonna happen, and since I said in the beginning of the video that there would be spoilers, you knew that I was gonna say that. But the process of the beginning throughout the end was just a lovely ride. It was just lovely. Everything worked. I know that the multiplayer focuses on double jumping, wall running, but I hardly ever used it throughout the campaign, so it's not really necessary to use it. And I played it on hard difficulty, so you can imagine that the game doesn't really focus on those things. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the campaign. So now we're coming to my conclusion. Which one did I like better, or which one did I like the most? Titanfall 2 or Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? And I have to go with Infinite Warfare because the execution was just amazing. Don't get me wrong, Titanfall 2 was an amazing experience. Both were actually amazing experience for me since I haven't played a shooter in a while, and both had such good storytelling that it just made me perk up. It was just amazing, the storytelling, and maybe that's due to the fact that I love robots who have a sense of humor or who have a certain personality. And in Titanfall case, it was kind of a lack of personality from BT mixed in with that he had a little understanding of what was going on. So I like that aspect and the relationship bonding between Jack Cooper and him. So yeah, I really like that. So yeah, this was basically my conclusion and evaluation of both games. I hope you liked it. Tell me in the comment section below what game you thought was better suited for you. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. And I'm going back to my cage now. Monkey out.